ready to learn, and their teachers caught in the middle of a forgotten spot.
When they closed everything by providence, still master in lockdown their classes well and managed not to drown.
They didn't bother. They got stronger to put on armor, got a lot farther by working a lot harder,
by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter, persevering, dominating school quarter by quarter.
And every day that this virus raged, taking big moments away, we overcame, we struggled, kept our guard up. Inside, we are longing for something to be a part of. This class is ready to lead into tomorrow. Then a bigger wave came and devastation reigned.
Our students saw their future dripping down the drain.
Our staff got together with the future to proclaim. Distance learning redefined, success was its name. As we all come together, even though it's not the same, we look at education with the very same aim. Every student, every day, don't forget from whence we came. Uniting new passions, we will a very new flame.
Every student, every day. It's about every student, every day.
And there's a million things we haven't done. Just you wait, just you wait.
Welcome back.
Hey, it's Mary Kay. Hope you guys had a safe summer. It's going to be an interesting year. Can't wait to see you.
Hey everybody, Mr. King, part-time Dean of Students here at Gateway High School. Looking forward to seeing you. It's going to be a new year, exciting things. Looking forward to getting going. Stay safe.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lisa Haley, principal at Gateways High School. Can't wait to see you.
Welcome, Springfield students and families. We're so excited to begin the school year with you in comprehensive distance learning, or CDL for short. This year will be unlike any other, but if the last few months have taught us anything, it's that we are a community that is resilient, creative, and focused. Together, we will make it a great year.
We bet you are wondering what CDL is all about, and we know you have many questions. So the purpose of this video is to share key information with you about your bell schedule and how it works, explain information about advisory, attendance, and grading, and give you tips for success. If you feel like you could use a little more help with some of the Google apps and technology that you will be using this year, we have also included some brief tutorials at the end of the video for you to watch.
During distance learning this fall, there are two types of instruction that you will have with your teacher. For half the day, you will meet with your teachers live. This is sometimes called synchronous instruction. Your teacher will be teaching you in Google Meets, and you will see all of your classmates as you learn together. For the other half of the day and on Wednesdays, you will be doing applied or asynchronous learning, where you will go to your Google Classroom and you will complete independent work that is assigned by your teachers.
We have changed to a 4x4 schedule this year to create more flexible opportunities to switch between 100% distance learning and hybrid learning, or part-time in-person instruction. You will take only 4 classes per 9-week quarter. Each class will be the equivalent of a semester 0.5 credit. We are committed to distance learning for at least the first 9 weeks of school. At that time, we will review the county COVID metrics and guidelines to determine if we can switch to hybrid learning. By then, you will have completed 4 semester classes and earned 2 credits. And remember, attending class every day matters. So here's the high school bell schedule. You will be assigned to one of 2 cohorts, either the morning red cohort or the afternoon blue cohort. If you are in the morning cohort, on Monday, you will log into your first period class through Google Meets. The first period of each day will include advisory, which we will discuss later in this video. Then from 8:15 to 9:15, you will learn live with your teacher. At 9:20, you will log into your second period class and learn live with your teacher until 10:20. After you get a bite to eat for lunch, you will work independently on your homework and assignments that your teachers give you in Google Classroom until 2:30. This will follow the same schedule on Tuesday, but for your third and fourth period classes instead. On Wednesday, you will have all day to work independently on your assignments without having to meet with your teachers for live instruction. Then on Thursday and Friday, you will repeat what you did on Monday and Tuesday. If you are in the afternoon cohort, you will follow the same class schedule as the morning cohort. However, you will work independently in the morning on the assignments your teachers give you in Google Classroom, and then your live classes will start at 12:05 until 2:30. And remember, attending class every day matters.
So, what is the advisory period for? Well, last year, during distance learning, students told us that they missed connecting with their teachers and classmates in person. The purpose of advisory is to build connection, to be able to talk together about how things are going, talk about the challenges with distance learning, as well as what's going well, and to get support from your peers and teacher. You'll also be learning more about your school and how you can stay involved and connected with your peers outside of class. Advisory and breakfast is built into the schedule for 15 minutes every day during your first and third period classes.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 tips for learning. It's the 10 tips for learning. Number 1.
The challenge: ignore all distractions, succeed with focus, grades have satisfaction.
Number 2.
Go to bed right on time, don't stay up late. Unless you want to fail, this will probably seal your fate.
Number 3.
Ask your questions, email or call, get your answers right away, there's no need to stall.
Number 4.
Go to class, be on time, present all the way. Tick your talk, snap your chats, mind your craft at end of day.
Number 5.
You cannot work in your bed. Your workspace equals work and your bed to rest your head.
Number 6.
Don't procrastinate, I'll just do it later. You'll pile up your work and you'll need an excavator.
7.
Cameras on, mics are set to mute. We want to see your faces even if you don't feel cute.
Number 8.
Get outside, go and breathe some air. Don't forget that you need love, comfort, and care.
Number 9.
A good routine is one to create. What works best with your flow is one to contemplate.
Number 10.
This is new to us and new to you. We're partners in it all, so let's see what we can do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 tips for learning.
Speaking of staying connected, your advisory teacher will keep you informed about clubs in which you can get involved, such as BSU or Black Student Union, HOSA for Future Health Professionals, DECA, and Gay and Straight Alliance, GSA. You will also have access to a Google Classroom dedicated to your graduating class, where you will receive pertinent information related to your class.
You will also see times for office hours on the schedule. Teachers will be available every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 2:30 to 3:30. You will be able to reach your teachers via email, phone, or Google Meet. Teachers will provide you with a Google Meet link on which they will be live during office hours. You can ask them any homework or other school-related questions at that time.
Attendance is vitally important to success in comprehensive distance learning. You're more likely to succeed in academics when you attend live classes consistently. Teachers will be taking attendance every day. They'll be monitoring and reporting both your live in-class attendance as well as asynchronous participation, such as when you turn in assignments, connect to your teachers via email, or other evidence showing engagement. We have an expectation of 95% attendance, which is less than 9 absences for the year or 2 absences per 9-week quarter. This year, families are not required to call in to excuse absences. Always remember, attending class every single day matters.
Our commitment in Springfield Public Schools is to implement equitable grading practices across all classes. You will be provided opportunities to redo, make up, or try again in order to complete, show progress, or attempt to complete work without penalty and retaining the highest earned grade. Teachers will collect varied evidence of learning related to your strengths and interests, as well as provide multiple ways for you to show what you know. Keep your eyes out for information regarding parent-teacher conferences. We will be scheduling 4 parent-teacher conferences throughout the year, 1 each quarter, for teachers to meet with parents or guardians to provide specific feedback about their students' progress.
Okay, students, so that was the key information on how the schedule works, what happens during advisory and office hours, and expectations around attendance and grading. You are now ready to begin comprehensive distance learning. If you need a little help with some of the Google Apps or online resources you will be using this year, stick around to watch some video tutorials. In the description of this YouTube video below, you will find times to which you can skip ahead to watch the videos that will help you.
Hi everybody, Mr. Campbell from Mr. Campbell Rocks. In this tutorial, I'm going to introduce you to Google Classroom, and in the following playlist videos, I'm going to show parents how to use Google Classroom. Well, Mr. Campbell, why should we listen to you? What do you know about Google Classroom? I taught in middle and high school using Google Classroom for the past 10 years, and currently with the shutdown, I have 6 kids that are using Google Classroom. 2 of my middle school students are using Google Classroom and Canvas. So I feel like I have a really good knowledge base on how I can walk you through Google Classroom. At this point, you may have already gotten used to it, but let's go into some of the details on how you can check in on how your kids are doing, what classes they have, what assignments they have, how you can monitor what they're doing on a daily basis while they're doing at-home school. Let's jump into it. Okay, when your student logs in, up here in the waffle, you're going to see the 9 bar, right? This will have all of the apps that are available to them. The biggest ones that they're going to be using right now are going to be Google Classroom, Google Drive, Google Docs, which is like Word, right, for Microsoft, Google Sheets, which is like Excel, Slides, which is like PowerPoint. There's some other ones that they might use, some chat, some meet options, which you can look at all the other tutorials on my channel for that. But when I jump into Classroom, I'm actually logged in under one of my boys, one of my middle school students. And he currently has 7 teachers, 4 of which are using Google Classroom, 3 of which are using Canvas. And so we're split between 2 software programs. Now, if I want to check in on how he's doing, the easiest way to do it is I can go to his to-do list. So up in the top left-hand corner, you'll see this little 3 bar right here. When I click on to do, it'll bring up all the things that he needs to do. Now, this may not be up to date depending on how your school is running things. As my student, some of the stuff was done in class, but if we jump down to when school started online, I can see that there are all these things that he needs to do, right? Some of them have been assigned yet, but some of them aren't due. We're in the middle of spring break. As an administrator in our building, we asked all of our teachers not to assign any homework over spring break, specifically from this past Monday to this upcoming Friday. I can also see in this to-do list what he has done. I can see what's been turned in, when it was turned in, and the score he got. Obviously, right, we're on a mastery-based grading scale. And so I can see some of these have not been graded yet. So that's how I can quickly check in to see how my kids are doing. Now, if we go back to the classroom, we click on classes, we jump into these classes, I'm going to be able to see how he's doing in individual classes and what those daily assignments are looking like in those classes. That will be in our next tutorial. Again, if you have questions, if you're a parent, feel free to reach out to me. If you're here, it's because you need help and you're trying to help your kids learn online at home. You're trying to hold them accountable, but you also have a little bit of empathy and you're trying to work through them through the process. If you have questions, go ahead and leave a comment below. If you want to, you can subscribe to this playlist and all the videos you can watch that will come hopefully before spring break is over for me. Again, I love you as a parent and what you do for kids and the support that you're showing. If you're here, that means you care about your child's education. I appreciate you, not only for what you do for your kids, what you do for education in general by supporting your teachers. And I'm glad that you're here. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment again below. Thank you. Hey everybody, welcome back to MrCampbellRocks.com. My name is Mr. Campbell. You're actually on YouTube.com watching me, but so former teacher, current administrator. Today's tutorial is to show parents how to use Google Classroom, and it's basically just navigation. So this is part of a playlist or a series on YouTube. So here, when you log in or when your child logs in, they're going to see all of their classes here. If they're in elementary, most likely they're just going to have one class, one teacher. If they're in middle or high school, they're going to have multiple classes for all of their teachers, and those will change depending on how your school schedule is. So navigation, pretty easy to navigate through. Over here, we have our 3-menu drop down. There's classes here, which will take us back to our basically home class page. When we click on calendar, that's going to take us to a calendar that will be connected to our Google Calendar. I'm not going to open that up. To do takes us to a to-do list, and I'll show you what this looks like. We're going to spend a little bit more time on this. We're going to have a whole tutorial about the to-do list. Then what I can actually do is I can jump into individual classes here, and we'll see different things from the teacher. So let's go back to our classes page. That's everything that you'll need to know here. You can add a class here if a teacher decides that they want to add something or add a side class or a side project or something at this point in time. This is where you would add it with the plus button. If we go back to the waffle, this takes you to all of your Google apps. And then here is your account information here, which would have this information here. So let's jump into a classroom and let's talk about some of the navigation here. Your stream, this is what's going on in your classroom. This is where assignments, videos, conversations, feedback, assignments will show up here in the feed. Here, you'll see any upcoming work that you may have. We're on spring break right now, so my son does not have any work except for work that as my daughter's coming down, okay, you can play in the kitchen, is down. And this will show upcoming work. If we click on classwork, this will show things that have been assigned that are either due or completed here. If we click on people, it's going to show the teachers in the classroom, and it'll show all the students in the classroom. I'm not going to open this up because I don't want to show all the students in our classroom or in my student's class. Shh. And when we go back to classwork, you'll see if we click on the assignment, it'll show us information here. My son is missing this, which is actually a little disappointing because it's now 3 or 4 days past due, so I need to follow up with him. I can copy this link and add it someplace else. This is where my son would turn in the assignment. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But this has been a tutorial from Mr. Campbell Rocks on how to navigate Google Classroom for parents. Again, if you're here, you're a parent that's looking to help your child be successful, or you're a teacher that wants to share this with your students and parents so that they can navigate a little bit easier. Again, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here.
In this video, we are going to show you how to use Google Classroom as a student and make the most out of some of its features. So how to get to Google Classroom is first you will go to Google, and then on the top right you can access the cube and go to Google Classroom that way, or type in classroom.google.com and it will show the classes that you are a part of. And right here from this menu, there's this awesome little button at the bottom that shows your work in your classes. So you can click on that and it will bring up all the assignments and pieces that you have in that class. It's everything that's been assigned to you, and it'll show your grade at the top right if your teacher has grades in that class. And you can go through and see all of your assignments and click on them and access those assignments here, see any grades, and open anything that you need to work on. So you can even click on some filters and see what's assigned and what's already been graded and any missing work that you have. So that view my work option from the main classes page is a great feature, as well as this to-do list. So the to-do list will show anything that you have upcoming in any of your classes. So it'll show things that are due soon and anything that's been assigned. And then you can also see what you've already done in your to-do list. There's also a button here that'll take you directly to your Drive folder, and it'll show you here anything that has a due date in the near future. Now we're in a class, and you can see there's also that upcoming on the left. This is your stream, where it'll show you any new assignments and any announcements. Now in classwork, there's also that View Your Work shortcut button. So you can click that and go to that same menu. And then on the left, you can filter by topic. So if you have a lot of assignments in your class, you can click on a topic and just see what is under that topic. So scrolling down, you can see anything that is gray is something you've already turned in, and anything that has a bright color you still need to do. And then looking at the icon, you can see the clipboard is an assignment. The one that looks like a bookmark is a material. And then down at the bottom, you can see there's one with a question mark, and that's a question. So we'll show what it looks like when you click on this and open up to answer the question. To type in your answer, it's in the top right corner. And you can go ahead and answer that question and then click that turn in button below, and that will record your response for that question. And then when that's done, it will turn gray because you've completed it. So now we'll look at different types of assignments. So if your teacher has attached something for you to complete, like a Google Doc here, if you click on it to open it up, then there might be a turn in button in the top right when you are done. This will sometimes show up in a Google Doc for you to turn in if the teacher has attached it already to the assignment. Sometimes that turn in button might not always appear, and so you might have to come back here to the assignment in Google Classroom and click that turn in button. The turn in button will always be in the assignment in Google Classroom if it's not in the Google Doc. So there's another type of assignment where your teacher may ask you to attach your own file. And so we're going to open up what that will look like. If there's not a Google Doc or slide already attached in the top right, it will ask you to add or create. And you can click on that and upload your own document or file. And it can go to your drive, and you can choose what file you want to attach to that assignment, and then turn it in just like you would if a teacher had attached a document. You can also add a link to a website you have created or a shareable link to another document, and then click that turn in button just like you normally would on any assignment. So you can always add or create any attachments, and then you can unsubmit and resubmit if you need to edit or change anything to your assignments after you have turned them in. And so there's another feature that's really nice. If your teacher has added a rubric to an assignment, it will show up right there below that assignment, and you can check that before, during an assignment. And then after the assignment, under View Your Work, you can open up that after the teacher has returned it to you with a grade, and you can see that expanded rubric and see what the teacher graded you for the rubric score. And so it will be color-coded with your score in that rubric. So before the assignment, you can see what you'll be graded on with the rubric, and after, you can see your actual grade attached to that assignment. Remember to check that View Your Work button in classwork. That's a great feature. And then you can have rubrics and grades attached to assignments and filter by topics in Google Classroom. In this video, we are going to go over how to use Google Classroom class calendars for students. So the class calendar in your Google Classes is a great way for you to stay on track with your assignments. When you open up your classes page, you'll see that if your teacher has included due dates, your upcoming assignments show on the class card. They also show on the upcoming section of the stream, and you can see the due dates listed on the right side of your assignments. There's also this great Google Calendar button listed right here at the top of your classwork page. If you click on that, it will open your Google Calendar up, and you'll be able to see the posts in there for your assignments on their due dates. And you can see some of them are at the top. That's an all-day event. Those don't have a time listed in the due date. If they do have a time, then they'll be lower at that specific time. So each of these events are clickable, and they have the instructions included and a clickable link that you can click on, and it will take you directly to your assignment. So it's a really great feature in Google Calendar. You can click on those events, and there's the link that will take you directly to that assignment. So you can use the Google Calendar for that class to help you keep on track with your assignments throughout the week, and use that to take you to those assignments directly as a feature for helping keep going with what you have upcoming. You can get to your calendar with that apps cube in the top right. Calendar is one of the options. You can get there just straight from a Google tab like this, or you can always get to it directly from Google Classroom. That Google Calendar button is always there under classwork. So again, the Google Calendar class calendar is a really great way to keep on track of your assignments. As long as your teacher includes a due date on your assignments, they will automatically show up on your class calendar with that clickable link that will take you to that assignment. You can use your Google Calendar to keep on track, and so that you can see what you have upcoming in the week, just like on the upcoming part of the stream and on the classes page. So check out your class calendar for your Google Classroom today.
Let's take a look at how to submit an assignment in Google Classroom from the student perspective. We're going to begin in my class, and you can see here on my stream, I'm being told I have a new assignment. So I can access it from here, or I can go into my classwork and I can access the assignment here as well. Let's click on the assignment and say View Assignment. Once I'm in the assignment, I can see my due date, the assignment name, and how many points it's worth. If I have questions about the assignment that I would like to talk to the rest of my class about, I can add those comments here. However, if I'd like to send a private comment to my instructor about this assignment, I'll want to do that on the right-hand side under Private Comments here at the bottom. Most of what I'm after here, however, is on the right-hand side towards the top. When it comes time for me to turn my assignment in, I can either add or create an assignment on the fly, and here you'll see I can access my Google Drive. I can also use a link to something on the web, or I can upload a file from my computer. And here I can even create new documents in my Google Drive on the fly. This assignment, however, I was given a worksheet, so I'm going to start by clicking on this document here under My Work. This is my prompt, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill it in. When I'm finished, all I need to do is close this window. Once I'm back in my assignment, if I'm ready to turn it in, I'll click Turn It In. Before I do that, however, you'll see that I have this originality report. So as a student, I can run this, and it's going to highlight anything that I might have plagiarized or copied from another source from the web. This gives me an opportunity to change my document and remove any of the plagiarism or cite it properly. When I'm ready, I'll click Turn It In. It makes sure that I know I'm turning it in, and I click Turn It In one more time. Now, as long as I am within this date parameter, I can unsubmit my assignment. So let's say I realized I did it incorrectly or I submitted the wrong assignment. I can click Unsubmit, and it gives me an opportunity to continue on editing my document or adding something new. Again, I will then have to return it in by clicking in Turn In. Again, you can only do that if you are within the due date parameter. After this date and time, you will no longer be able to click Unsubmit.
Hi everybody, this is Google Meet for Students, a tutorial for students. If you're not a student and you're a teacher and you want to send this to your students, that's okay as well. Hi students, my name is Mr. Campbell. I am a former teacher and middle school assistant principal. And although I'm not your teacher normally, I'm going to help you today get through into Google Classroom. So let's jump right in. What you'll want to do is, if you're unfamiliar with this or Google Classroom, is you'll want to go up to the little waffle up here, click on Classroom, and I'm using my son's account. He's actually a student right now and he's using Google Classroom, and you'll see all of his classes here. We've created a test class just for this tutorial for you. You may get an email from your teacher that has a link in the email if you're not using Google Classroom, or if you're using Canvas or something else, that link might be provided there as well. So let's go ahead and click into a class and let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to click into this test class right here. And what you'll see is we have the stream here. Right here, we have a link. This is the Google Meet link. It's going to be meet.google.com/ either lookup or a bunch of different letters. Now, because you're a student, you can't enter the room without the teacher allowing you to come in. This is for your safety and the teacher's safety. So if you click on it and you don't get in right then, just wait a couple of minutes. That means your teacher either hasn't opened the link yet or the Google Meet, or is busy letting other students in. So let's click on it and see what happens. When I click on it, it's going to open a window like this. This is going to allow you as the student to change a few things before you enter the Google Meet. You can change your volume or your microphone. You can also change your camera. Maybe you're having a bad hair day, or maybe you just lost a tooth, or maybe you didn't put your makeup on this morning. Either way, you can turn the camera off or turn the camera on. And you'll notice over here the little green lines, they're picking up my microphone. I can turn the microphone off and it turns red. I can turn it back on and it turns green. Now, you'll have some other options too to join using a phone for audio. So if you want to do that, you can click right here and it'll give you information about the meeting that will then call your cell phone, and you can just listen on the phone instead of being on the computer. I'm going to click on Join Now. And what you'll see is that I am in the meeting. Now I've set this up because I'm the one that created the meeting, so I can jump in. Here is the meeting nickname code here. And you might see a little message here that says meeting nickname can only be used with whatever your school district or your charter school or your private school .org.com or whatever is right there. This makes it so it's safe for you so that nobody else is going to jump in. They have to have a specific email, like this email that I'm using or the email that you have, and then I can jump in the meeting. Now, I've got a few extensions involved here that make this a lot better. One of them is the grid view extension, and I'll show a tutorial on another one over there. You'll notice up here, this tells me how many people are in the meeting. Well, it's just one right now. It's just me. If I want to chat while everybody else is here, I can click on the chat and I can send messages down in the chat option that everybody could see. Now, obviously you want to be appropriate and not send messages in the chat that are inappropriate. The other thing, just so you know, is that your teacher has some controls that you don't have. Your teacher can mute you if you're talking too loud, or if something's going on in your house and the microphone's too loud, or she can unmute you, or he can unmute you if you have a boy teacher. Again, if I click on people, you'll see everybody here that's in the list. If I click on chat, I'll see all the chat. Now we have a few more options down here. Maybe you want to turn closed caption on, and that's where the text becomes words. So I can click on turn on captions right here, and everything that's being said will be down here in the text, as you can see at the bottom. It'll also tell you who is speaking. If there were other people in this meeting, it would pull up their voices and their information here as well. Now, you might have the opportunity to present in your Google Meet, which means maybe your teacher wants you to show something to the class, or maybe there's a document that you created or a picture that you want to show everybody. The way that you would do that is you would go to Present Now, and you could then present whatever it is that you wanted to show in that meeting. Again, you still have the options here to change your volume or your camera. You also have additional options over here that just talk about the meeting. And then there's a couple more options over here. Again, your teacher might have more options than you do. I can change my layout to one of these other different ones here if I wanted to do that. I can also turn off the captions from here. And again, you'll see that the captions are turned off. And I can go full screen, which takes it all the way to the full screen. Again, I want to thank you for your time. Although I'm not your teacher, I am a teacher. Hopefully this tutorial helped you get onto Google Meet and navigate through the settings. I'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button and share with your teacher how helpful this video was.
Hi everybody, today I want to show you touchpad gestures that you could use on your Chromebook with 1, 2, and even 3 fingers. Okay, first of all, of course, there is the one finger click, and the one finger click does the thing that you expect it to, just like a left click on a mouse. Lets you click on any button on your screen, and whatever is supposed to happen does happen with that one finger click. Any finger will work for that. All right, next 2 finger clicks, and these are really important. Let's go to ESPN so I can show you that with 2 fingers on a touchpad. 2 fingers lets you scroll up and down so you don't have to go over and grab that gray bar and try and find it all the time. Anywhere you go where the web page scrolls down, 2 fingers up and down will work for you. The other thing 2 fingers do is it gives you that right click, like a right click on a mouse. So 2 fingers firmly on the keypad simultaneously gives you a right click. So for example, like here in slides, I can go and click with 1 finger and change the background of this particular slide. And we don't really want to do that. And then finally, there's some gestures you can actually do with 3 fingers. All right, and so if I go up here, you can see I have a lot of tabs open. 3 fingers left or right on my keypad quickly takes me through so fast all of those tabs I have open. So if I want to zoom to another tab that I have open, I can just use my 3 fingers going left or right. The other thing that a 3 finger gesture does is it takes you to this view. That was 3 fingers down on the keypad. And in this view, which is called overview mode, you can see anything, any apps that you have open. For example, I have the calculator open right there, and those 3 fingers up or down takes me in and out of overview mode. And that's it for finger gestures on the touchpad.
ParentVue is the Springfield School District's parent web portal, providing you with access to your students' attendance and course information to assist in the monitoring of your child's educational progress. To access ParentVue for the first time, you will need an activation key, which will be mailed to all parents in early September. Parents of students registering after school begins will receive activation letters from their schools when the student registers. Each parent should receive a single activation code, regardless of the number of students you have enrolled in the district. To activate your account, you will click the I have an activation key and need to create my account button. Once you log in, you will see in the upper left-hand corner the student names that you have that are enrolled in the district. And you can click on each of these student names to get information about their grades and attendance and so on. On the left-hand side, you will see a menu of items that you can select from. The messages, you might receive a message from a teacher, and you will see that if there is a message, it will be flagged with a red icon. The calendar generally is going to be used for displaying assignments by due date. Attendance shows real-time attendance data, and class schedule will show the current secondary student schedules. The calendar displays class assignments, and you can actually click on each of the assignments to get more information about it, such as the due date, how much it's worth, maybe how it is being graded, and you can find out some information about how to complete that assignment. You can also access the gradebook, and you just need to click on the term that you want to view. So you'll see circled in green are the different terms you can view. Circled in red are the course titles that you can click on each one of those to get information about the gradebook details, or you can also click on the class grade to see the same information. If you want to customize your auto notifications, you will click on My Account, and then you will check the topics that you want to receive updates on and when you want to receive them. And that's about the ParentVue. If you have questions about ParentVue, make sure you contact your school or the district. Have a great day.